Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a square no matter what. Or what. So we're gonna start hold in it. We're going to say create spawn areas. Actually, let's just go ahead and delete these. State manager, game config, say get teams, return it's not teams, we'll just get game config red, then blue, game config blue, and then save that, and we should be able to say let teams equals state teams. Teams dot red, teams dot blue, and we don't need to pass the string anymore. If we go to this definition, be able to say team actually let's say teams, let's just pass both teams in. Jeez, we need to clean this code up, it's so ugly. We'll say squares and regions, and I think we can factor that out as well, but we'll say teams. And then for now, we'll just pass in, they're gonna have a lot of breakages here. Regions, then squares, do we use this grid anyway? And actually just say This is gonna break everything. We go to player areas. We can actually say for let team. No. Teams. For each team. Wait. Object entries team for each team. What is it? Console log team. See if this even works. Should see like red and blue. There we go. So for each team position. I gotta unwrap it. Red and blue, okay. Then let red team equals red. And then for positions dot length. This is where we need to say the map this dot add hemisphere light to position, and then let's bring this down some more. So 9, 6, 1. Create player areas defined. Map 130. Create spawn. Define spawn areas. What am I looking for here? I don't think we need region. We can just You can just return the squares. I don't know if we need 8 pathways. The regions for. Yeah, I don't think we need that anymore. Because we're gonna add all of the spawn areas. We'll leave it because we were using it if our angles pass the region. Which it's a little inefficient. We can factor it out later though. The hack, it works. So when we go through, we create the spawn area. What we're actually gonna do is we're gonna let's see. X position, then Y position, and then we're gonna add a square. Y, X, name, ID, location, and then outline. Yeah, we're not gonna do any of this actually. We're not gonna push squares. We're not even gonna return squares. We're just gonna end this here because now we have everything we need. We don't need a mesh. We don't need a square rotation. And we can actually say position X minimum, from position X minimum to position Y X maximum, and then position Y minimum to position Y maximum, and then we don't have to do the math in either step. We don't need squares. We don't need to pass red team. We can just pass team though. Team and player. Oh, I see why we were doing the I, the location. I see. I see why we were doing that. So we'll do x minimum minus j minus I. And then instead of create spawn area, we'll say define spawn area. We'll just pass the team in here, so we don't add anything on the way out. We do need to push player positions though, I think. So now in create pathways, we've got a whole another thing. So on line 132, let's see, just create pathways. So we actually just get regions now. We define pathways with the regions. See, this is cleaning up nice now. So what is paths? Oh, let's go to path mapping. Paths. I wonder if it's faster to do this or this. Like if it's faster to call this twice, or if it's faster to get the return from this once and then index these, because actually it would probably be faster to just get the game config, because now we're making these calls for 1, 2, I don't know, because these are already in the game config, so like we could just get all of them directly, but whatever. Path mappings. Which makes me realize we could get rid of this as well. We go to here. We can say for state teams. And back at 131. Do we need regions more than once? We don't add the squares anymore like this. We also don't need grid size. So if we go to define pathways, which doesn't exist, we say define pathways. Then it's not paths, but rather state path mappings. I don't know if we need bounds anymore, or yeah, we don't need bounds because we're not doing bounds checking anymore. Or do we? Borders. We don't even call it anywhere. It's useless. We just return pathways, and I don't think we even need those either. So for the path mapping, for each path we figure out the start and X. This finds our start and end points of each path. We do need the region to get the team and the index because we picked, so in the previous step we picked a spawn location. We're using a key, so we could actually, this is fine, we'll do this. It's kind of hacky, but we'll do this. We could, there's some other things we could do, but we're gonna leave it because it works. So region, we don't use region anywhere else either. So we have start X, start Y, index NY, and then bounds. Bounds being the region. We don't need those anymore either though. Like we had a bounding box so that we could do safety checking. We don't need the region anymore either, I don't think. Yeah, we don't. Which means we... Okay, we do need the region to get the start and end position, that's it. But we don't need the bounds itself. we need to go back to where this is at and double check, because I don't think we pass it in as position anymore either. Define pathway. What do we call this? Oh, okay. Yeah, all we do is return the player positions actually, so define pathways. So interestingly, we're not returning a path, and because we return a region from here, we can actually just say define spawn areas and then define pathways. But the problem is with JavaScript, if you do that, it will try to run this while this is undefined. It'll try calling both functions from left to right, where this says, hey, we're supposed to get something from here, let's try to resolve this promise. So we'll attempt to look for a value, and if a value comes in, then it'll fire off this event. So these can just be positions now. And then we can just say start position boy, oh boy. Then we can just skip all of this now. And then start X, end position. We don't need region anymore. We're not pushing squares anymore. We can actually get rid of that. But we can say this define path area. And we don't need any of this anymore. This becomes the whole function. And then alert path is no longer here. Jeez, this code's actually like really almost clean now. Like these functions are kind of small. Start position, end position. So let's start X. It's interesting that we have something here, actually. We have something here, but there's no material. Really interesting. Because I don't know where the heck we're. Path areas. From path, left limit, right limit. We don't need this either now. Because we don't need. This is cool, but so what? There's a lot here that we don't need to do beyond limits. We do need to check if we're beyond the limits. Are we? Oh, we're not checking read. We don't need path, left limit or right limit. Whole lot of logic to determine the angle of the path and the limits. So for X ascending, then that's how we figure out the Y. Then we crosswalk, we round it. This takes our steps. If it's a valid step, so if we're beyond the limits, oh, we don't have bounds anymore. Got rid of that. Oh, we do actually. Hold on. Define spawn area. So this is actually player areas. Player area. And then player positions. Define spawn area. So we messed up. I gotta go back here. Define pathway. So path 0. Fuck, I just got confused as shit. This is a region. This gives us a region. So for each, so for the first path, the path mapping for region 0. Fuck. Yeah. I think we actually passed the whole I'm confused. So we iterate over the teams and their position. We iterate through all the positions. We pick a random X and Y within the node bounds. This position simply gives us a position where we define a spawn area. That's all we do there. So we initialize an empty map, we define the spawn areas. Okay. This gives us regions. So we have 10 regions. So what we're going to do is we're going to make red and blue list. And we'll say, player position team. Why do we need the team? We don't need to know what color they are. So now we have regions with the team names. So we have red and blue positions. And then these should have positions and minimum and maximum X and Y values now. We simply pick a we simply calculate the min max bounds for the player area and construct an object of position X min. And then we add all the squares to the square map. Then something we could do is we can say this player positions, and then player area. So when we construct the player bounds, go in and we can say team, and we can say this player positions team push this value. Then we don't have to return anything. We will move this to the very top of our class constructor. where were we at? So then we just push the team in here, and then we don't need a player area. Simply calculate and construct an object. That we then add to this dot player positions. Then I don't know if we need we define the spawn area. Okay. We'll move this one. Oh wait, it still stays there, but we'll move it out. Boy, we're making a mess of this code. How are we going to call it in itself? We've got overlapping names. Define player bounds. Define player bounds. Pick random X. Define spawn area. Let's say add spawn area. So define spawn area. We don't return player positions now. We just say this dot add spawn area. And then here, instead of having a team and a position, we will say for object entries player positions for each team and positions for positions for each. I don't know if this will work, but we're gonna try it. We'll have to add comments to make this worthwhile. Look at that. Adding spawn area for each. Okay, so line 312. This dot spawn. Let's start. I'll be back.